Now, you've been suggesting that, in fact, you've been saying that you've been looking around for a possible buyer for this plant. What authority do you have to hawk around an entire refinery complex which is not for sale?
I think the first thing to say, Gordon, is that the Scottish Government's priority, and in this respect our priority is shared with the United Kingdom Government, is to get negotiations underway and to get the plant restarted.
No, I think we understand that, but you've also said you're looking for a buyer.
But I do think it's important, and I reiterate, that's our first and primary interest in the current situation and has been throughout this whole issue. But obviously we have to consider what are other contingencies that might arise. And one of them might be that there might be ownership of the plant that can provide greater clarity and greater certainty for the plant, which is Scotland's most significant industrial site. And it's incumbent on the Scottish Government to look at all other eventualities. And that's
but have you had discussions with potential buyers, or have you just got some friendly businessmen to think about it?
We've had discussions with potential buyers.
And there are potential buyers?
There are, yes.
Would you like to tell us who they are?
No, I certainly would not, Gordon, and no reasonable person would expect me to.
Is one of them PetroChina?
No, I'm going to speculate on no names either for or against them, Gordon, and you can put as many names to you as you want to me tonight, and I will comment on no name that you put to me. I think it's it would be totally inappropriate for me to do that.
I'm not going to ask you a particular name, but as you know, the refinery is 50% owned by a Chinese company. Should any Chinese company end up owning the whole refinery, would you be relaxed about that?
Well, what we've got to make sure is that we have got strong and effective leadership of this facility. This is a major contributor to the Scottish economy. The Grangemouth complex accounts for over £2 billion of the size of Scotland's economy. So
that's precisely why I'm asking you if you'd be relaxed by a Chinese state company having control of such a strategic asset.
It's a major and significant part of the infrastructure of Scotland, and what we've got to work to ensure is that we have that site operational and functional and contributing to the Scottish economy. Now, what I said to you a moment ago is I'm not going to speculate about individual companies or their interests. What's important is that we concentrate on the things that we've set out as our major priorities.
I fully understand the point about negotiations, but given that China's involvement in this, it's reasonable to say, particularly with your plans for an independent Scotland, whether you would be comfortable for the largest manufacturing facility in an independent Scotland to be controlled by a company which is part of the Chinese state.
Well, what's important, Gordon, I think, is that we focus on the
in
task
terms of strategic assets.
Well, what's important is that we focus on the task in hand, which is about getting this plant operational again, getting it back to work and getting it contributing to the Scottish economy. And that's what I'm entirely focused on doing. And that's the priority of the Scottish Government. You
wouldn't rule that out, because, of course, many people would say, look, that's a terrible idea.
Well, I'm not going to speculate on other possible ownership options. I've confirmed today that the Scottish Government is taking forward discussions, very appropriately, in case the issue of ownership becomes a material
can I just ask you a couple
of the immediate short-term period.
When you say you're soliciting buyers and you've talked to potential buyers, are you talking about the whole complex? Or are you talking about the refinery, or are you talking about the two as separate things which could be sold to different buyers?
Well, I'm not going to go into that degree of detail, Gordon, and I think it's completely unreasonable at this stage of the proceedings for us to do that. What's important, and I'm not going to give a running commentary on this process, we've confirmed that discussion has commenced, but what we're doing as a government is trying to work to secure the continued operation of the Grangemouth site and its operation as soon as we possibly can arrange that.
Have you told INEOS you're trying to sell the plant?
We've made it clear to INEOS that we are involved in discussions and that process is underway.
And what is their response to that?
Well, Gordon, I think we're going into a level of detail which I don't think you can expect me to comment on.